You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I did a video yesterday afternoon where we talked about Kathy Engelbert wanting to spread the love amongst all these rookies as to why the ratings and the attendance and everything else is up. And her refusal to give Caitlin Clark her due because, well, it is Caitlin Clark. And again, that is Caitlin Clark singular. Okay? And so now we've got those wretched statistics that I was referring to. And this is embarrassing because we've got two major statistics and pie right in the face, right in the eye hole of Cheryl Reeve, who, of course, cannot stand Caitlin Clark. I don't care if she come out and tried to walk back her claims. Look, you left her off the Olympic team. All right? You had all this shitty these shitty things to say about her prior to the season starting, and now you want to try to back off and save face. We're not letting that slide. So what has happened here is both the attendance and the ratings have come out for said WNBA playoff games that no longer have Caitlin Clark involved. And the one thing I see online, well, you guys are not real WNBA fans. No, we're pulling for the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. That's it. And let me speak for every one of those fans when I say I will put my time, my effort, my enjoyment into whatever makes me happy. I enjoy watching her play, and that makes me happy. I don't give a rip about any other team in this league. And I'm non-apologetic about it. That's what's called being a consumer. You get to buy what you want to purchase, okay? This is what I want to consume. Let me take my time, which is what you're using as currency, to buy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Buy that time. If I choose not to give it to Asia Wilson or these other teams because I'm just not interested, you shouldn't have to apologize for that. I'm sick to death of seeing that narrative. Great. If you were one of these activist basketball fans that was watching this league, one of the very few before Caitlin Clark came along, congratulations. But the 4 times the amount of fans that have now showed up, they don't give a rip what you was watching before we showed up. Still don't. I mean, honestly. The New York Liberty defeated the Las Vegas Aces in the first game of the best of 5. The Sun beat the Lynx. And the matchup started at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC. The Sun-Lynx contest, 8:30 on ESPN. They did go up against the NFL. I don't think that would matter. I can tell you this. The week before that game was on a Sunday, Caitlin Clark played. Guess what? For the first time in 15 years, I didn't consume 7 hours of commercial-free football. It was the first time in 15 years. Why? I wanted to watch Caitlin Clark play in the playoffs. End of story. The ABC matchup drew 929,000 viewers, which is a good number for the WNBA. However, that was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever contest. The Sun and the Lynx drew just more than 650,000. Good Lord. But this is where it gets even more interesting. They can't put butts in the seats now. And it is hilarious. Not only was the viewership down, but the attendance was as well. The Sun matchup drew 8,500 fans. That's fewer than 50% of the total capacity of Target Center in Minneapolis. By the way, Caitlin Clark sold that joker out twice. Yeah, I'm just pointing that out. The Liberty Aces match at the Barclays Center did much better in terms of attendance, but still didn't sell out of one of the most highly anticipated playoff series this season between two teams expected to compete for the WNBA championship. The Liberty and the Aces couldn't sell out. According to ESPN, the attendance was 14,015 fans. They didn't even make it to 75% of their arena being full. I mean, seriously. Going against the NFL was not a huge problem for Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever, who managed to draw nearly 2 million viewers from the previous week. I mean, come on. That is hilarious. By the way, Wednesday night drew 2.54 million. That game last Sunday, 1.84 million. Anybody see the difference here? I do. So, as you can imagine, fans did weigh in on this. And it's exactly what you would think. All these clowns in the WNBA crying racism must really want to go back to flying on Spirit Airlines for the rest of their career. Seriously. Were they even flying Spirit? Question mark? Do we know? I don't know. She's carrying the WNBA on her back. Yeah. And you got a goofy commissioner and these goofy-ass players that don't want to give her her due. I mean, and by the way, what is up? Marina Mabry and one of the players for the Lynx got into it. What is going on with the lack of flagrant fouls in Texas in this league? I saw where somebody said, well, because the NBA would call those. I mean, I'm just letting you know. They would call those. But somebody said, well, that's the brand of basketball the WNBA plays is physicality. Well, it looks bad. And you got to wonder how much that contributes to the ratings. Look, I've watched physicality. Anybody remembers Pacers Knicks back in the 90s? That was physical. But it was also entertaining. I mean, seriously. The WNBA viewership on Wednesday evening will always be higher than on NFL Sunday. That's not the point. This is a comparison directly to last Sunday when Caitlin Clark played. I mean, honestly. Oh, wow. I planned on watching more until the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, downplayed her contributions to national TV. Absolutely. I've wondered this myself. The WNBA is such a small cap league. How hard would it be for some billionaire to start a competing league? If they started by getting Clark as the dollar anchor, it seems like the rest would fall in place. It's possible. It's possible. And they should keep plummeting. The WNBA has no ratings without Caitlin Clark. She's the best thing that happened to the WNBA. I mean, honestly, suck it, haters. All right. I mean, yeah, I get your point, dude. I do. I mean, that's crazy. That Caitlin Clark in full display. The WNBA doesn't want to admit she's the face of the league, and on the other hand, Nike is hesitant to give her own signature shoe now because they don't want to risk issues with the community predominantly black. What are we doing? This is nuts. She's Tiger Woods. That's a great comparison. It really is. It really is. I think, look, I expected the ratings to plummet, but the attendance part, I think, is the most eye-opening because that's also tied, again, to gate revenue. The attendance fell off a cliff. There you go. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I've seen these the little fans that they used to have, or they still have, I guess, it's hung through the purple hairs and the pink hairs. Well, you're not a real fan. I'm a fan of the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, and I'm not apologetic about it. I don't care. All right? I mean, seriously, don't tell me as soon as her game was over, it was back to the last 3 hours of commercial-free football last week. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.